boys of summer. They're the big boys of summer. The biggest boppers in the slow pitch softball world getting their moment in the sun. It's a border war. Team USA playing for their country. Welcome to the Lumber Liquidators Border Battle. We are here in Oklahoma City, where softball is the theme of the weekend. Here at ASA Hall of Fame Stadium, the women giving way to the men for the next couple of hours. Fans getting ready to see the biggest, the strongest, and the fastest in the world of slow pitch softball getting after it. It's a border battle, Team USA against Canada. So glad you could join us. My name is Eric Collins. Folks, if you've never seen elite level men's slow pitch softball, you're in for a treat. This game is exceedingly quick. It's got tons of power and surprisingly good defense. Now, to help me call this game is a man that you may know from his time at the Major League Baseball level. Doug Flynn, 11 years playing Major League Baseball, won a couple of World Series titles with the Cincinnati Reds back in the 70s. Also could flash the leather. 1980 second base. He won a Gold Glove for the New York Mets. And beyond that, well, the reason he's here with me today is because not only did he play 11 years of big league baseball, but when his career came to an end, you kept on playing elite softball. I got to ask you, how do you go from playing Major League Baseball to playing slow pitch softball?
Well, one is I wanted to stay competitive and keep doing something that I felt like I was in pretty good shape. It's probably the passion, Eric. I have a passion for slow pitch softball. I love to play it. Plus, I knew when I came to the ballpark, unlike my big league career, I had a chance to get a couple of hits.
All right, there's a lot of differences between this game and maybe some other slow pitch softball that you've seen played in a beer league or whatever. Let's talk about some of the differences.
Well, the bases are 65 feet. It's a little bit longer than the ladies. They play at 60 feet. The pitching distance is 50 feet as opposed to 43 for the ladies. There's 10 defenders in the field, and you're going to see a lot of five-man infields in the games today. The batter starts with a 1-1 count, and if he hits a foul ball with 2 strikes, that's going to be an out. And then any home run hit after the 10th homer is also going to be an out. And that's something that's unusual for this game. These guys only have 10 home runs instead of unlimited.
All right, let's take a look at some of the individual players for Canada. One of their all-time greats, there's Jeff Gare.
There's so many guys to choose from, but Jeff Gare hits second in the lineup, which is a key position for any softball team. He also solidifies that infield by playing second base. He has really good hands, good range, and, of course, all of these guys have great power.
Well, a returning player from last year's Team USA roster, J.D. Genter. Let's talk about him.
J.D. Genter is going to be an important factor today. With the wind blowing out, guys are going to try to keep the ball in the ballpark. So it's important for those guys to get on base, the singles hitters, hit singles, hit doubles, and not waste these home runs. What you're looking for is to get 3 runs out of every home run. It's going to be hard to do today.
Last year, Team USA won a barn burner, 30-23 the final score. What will happen in year 2? Don't go anywhere. The home runs start flying next.
Hey, Cam.
Lumber Liquidators Border Battle is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators. For the best deals anywhere on hardwood flooring, Lumber Liquidators. By Progressive, making it easy to shop for car insurance. Now that's Progressive. And by ASA. Play ASA. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you here. It's the Lumber Liquidators Border Battle. The Canadian national team taking on Team USA. This is the second running of this event. Last year, Team USA winning by a final score of 30-23. 64 combined base hits in that game. Let's take a look at the Lumber Liquidators Canadian starting lineup. It's going to come in 2 different pages for you. Dave Bolt leads things off. Jeff Gare. Brian Higginbotham hits third. He'll also pitch. Frank Henry from Montreal is the catcher. Todd Cadenhead. Jeff Filardo is the first baseman. This is the second part of the lineup. There's going to be 11 different Canadians that will hit. James Kelly at third. Ryan Cayley, the shortstop. Mike Cook out in left. Jason Gillichin is the right fielder. And Kevin Bergen is the middle infielder. Take a look at the progressive keys to the game. Doug, what do you have?
Well, I think the key for Canada is going to be to make the routine play. There's going to be a lot of balls that are going to be hit hard in this game with the talent that's on this field. If you give the United States an extra out, that could be worth 5 or 6 runs. So I think the key for them is going to be make the routine play. For the United States, with the wind blowing out and all the power they have, it's being able to harness that, get a few guys on base before they start unloading. Take a look at the distance markers, and we have seen yesterday in one of the exhibition guys that were hitting them out to the 450 mark. Rusty Baumgartner hit one over on the other field somewhere near that 500 mark. That is amazing.
That's the practice field, 200 feet beyond the left field wall.
I think another thing for Canada that's real important is they need to get off to a good start. That would get the nerves out of the way, but for them, get some runs early.
Our first pitch hit on the ground, third baseman diving. This is J.D. Genter, and he's got no chance at all. Once you leave your feet, particularly with a guy with the speed of a Dave Bolt, you got no chance. Infield base hit for Bolt.
Dave Bolt is an outstanding player. I know we did the feature on him last year. He is a great leadoff hitter. He can hit to all fields, and you saw right there, he just hit the ball on the ground in the hole. Tough play for Genter.
So run on at first base, and here comes the second baseman, Jeff Gare. Pitcher, Scott Brown. Wearing a mask. That happens frequently at this level of softball. The ball's just flying off the bat.
And a lot of them are wearing shin guards, or the things that the soccer players wear on their shins, because the ball is getting there so fast.
Scott Brown from Andover, Minnesota, Twin Cities area. This is his second year in this event. Ball hit hard right back up through the middle. That's going to be another single for the Canadians. Moving all the way to third goes Dave Bolt. So Jeff Gare gets himself a hit.
Jeff Gare has one of the best swings in softball, and he plays in the States with Northwest Combat. But you can see right there, he just has a great swing, takes the ball up the middle. And with a 5-man infield, you try to keep 3 fielders, meaning the pitcher is a fielder, 3 on one side of second base and 3 on the other. Right now, you've got all of your infielders to the left side, so that means the pitcher will go to the right side and hopefully get a double play.
This is the opposing pitcher, Brian Higginbotham.
And he'll be trying to hit one out.
Hits this one high and deep, and this one is going to be our first home run of the ball game. Wow. Onto the roof.
Brian Higginbotham, born in West Virginia but lives in Canada now, was an all-state swimmer and is one of the best players in softball. And that's the way you get it done. In a game like this with 10 home runs, you try to get a couple of men on, and your goal is to score 30 runs on those 10 home runs. Here's a bomb that's hit off the building out in left field. This one goes somewhere near the 400-foot mark, it looks like. Wow, just a pretty swing, just a powerful swing. Good player.
Well, if you're a fan of Team USA, or if you're feeling a little bit down right now because Canada's jumped up to a 3-0 lead, don't worry about it. We're going to see more runs in this ball game. Last year we had 53 combined runs. 3-0 lead for Canada. Nobody out here in the top of the first inning. This is Frank Henry from the Montreal, Quebec area. And he takes a strike. He's now down in the count 1 and 2, and that is big. With 2 strikes, any foul ball, and it is out.
And he is out. And I think that's a really good rule to help speed up the game a little bit. But these guys really don't need too many pitches. They're that good of hitters.
Henry, like Jeff Gare before him, plays professionally in the States. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Every batter, in the minute they come to the batter's box, starts with a 1 ball and 1 strike count. And now this is going to be full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Going the other way, this is deep, and that's a home run, but that's probably the last thing that Henry wanted to do.
That's exactly right. He was trying to hit that ball in the gap, but these guys are so powerful with the wind blowing out. If you spin it just a little bit, that ball will get up in the air and will really travel.
So that's a solo home run. And remember, folks, you only get 10 home runs the entire ball game, and they just wasted one and only got 1 run out of it. Let's take a look at the United States Lumber Liquidators defense. Scott Brown is the pitcher. He is throwing to Brett Helmer. It's an infield of Bumgartner, Eisenhower. McGavin is the shortstop. Genter over at third. Middle infielder Brian Wegman, maybe the best defender on the field. An outfield of McCraw, Baker, and Jason Kendrick from left to right. Rick Baker has won 5 ASA Gold Gloves in center field. This ball hit to the gap in right center field. It's going to bounce off the wall.
Go home.
Todd Cadenhead is going to get himself a stand-up double.
Todd Cadenhead is probably their best home run hitter.
Coach, I'm going to need a couple balls.
He's also
couple balls in there.
The co-captain of this ball club. And the other co-captain may not play, or he may play later in the game, but just got out of the Air Force, the Canadian Air Force, and they put him on the roster, and it was kind of a nice tribute to him.
Still nobody out. Jeff Falardo will bat. Former draft choice of the Los Angeles Dodgers back in the early 90s. They call him Grubby. And he gets a base hit into center field. Let's see if they send Caden Head. He's rounding third, and he'll score. It's now a 5-0 lead for Canada. RBI single for Falardo. So Scott Brown not fooling anyone. A lot of good swings and hard-hit balls here in the top of the first inning for Canada.
And they have a couple of pitchers, and it's not unusual to have them switch up just to kind of break the momentum. But we'll see right now. Scott's throwing that knuckleball, and Canada just came out swinging. They couldn't have got off to a better start.
Here's James Kelly from Amherstburg, Ontario, near Windsor.
Here we go.
Out of the Detroit area. That's considered to be an illegal pitch. I don't think it went the required at least 6 feet high in the air.
That's right. The minimum of 6 to maximum of 10.
Counts full, 3-2.
There you go.
And that's going to be the first walk of the ball game. So Scott Brown has allowed the first 7 men he has faced to reach base safely. Kelly on at first. Falardo now moves over to second.
And Ryan Cayley coming up to the plate is also a long drive competitor. So you know he's got some power. He said he'd like to say hello to his wife Janet and the kids Aiden, Seth, and Reed that are home watching. I tell you, matter of fact, there's a tournament in Canada going on that is canceled right now so that everybody can stop, go into the restaurant or the bar and watch this ball game.
First pitch to Cayley is a called strike, so he is down in the count, 1-2. Left-handed swinger from London, Ontario. Has a day job as an electrician. Off the pitcher Brown. That's why he wears shin guards. Coming around to score is Falardo. Moving into second goes Cayley. It's an RBI double off the pitcher for Cayley.
If I came back to play today, I believe I'd have to be in the outfield. These guys are so strong, and this is just an absolute rocket. Scotty Brown not rubbing anything, so evidently he's got those shin guards on for protection.
So still nobody out, top of the first inning. Scott Brown just trying to figure out how to get these Canadians to hit into an out. This is a deep foul ball. And Mike Cook is now down in the count, of ball and 2 strikes. Cook, the left fielder from Milton, Ontario.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Played a little college baseball at the University of Louisville. And we see there's several guys here who have baseball backgrounds.
On the ground, this could be the first out of the ball game. Fielding it from the middle infield spot is Brian Wegman. They get him out at first, but coming in to score from third is James Kelly. So Kelly aggressive on the base paths. The Team USA just thrilled to get their first out.
Yeah, and this game is such a game of momentum that once you get one, it seems like the others will follow. But offense works the same way in slow pitch softball. Once you get going on that offensive momentum, it is tough to stop the ball club.
So 1 out now. Cayley still on at second, and this is Jason Gillichin, right fielder from British Columbia. He lines a single into left field. Coming around and scoring the 8th run of the ball game for Canada is James Kelly.
You know, in the exhibition games that Canada's been playing, they have looked better and better each game since they've been out here. They've been hitting the ball very well, playing with a lot of confidence. They've got a lot of returning guys that played here last year, so they're not intimidated at all about being on television.
Kevin Bergen is the 11th man to hit here in this first inning. It's an 11-man lineup. After Bergen, it'll be the top of the lineup. High pop. This is going to stay in the ballpark. Underneath it, Jason Kendrick with the squeeze. They're now 2 outs. Moving over to third goes Hook. Well, this may become a factor as the game moves on. We do have a run rule in effect for this particular border battle. The game is going to end if either team is leading by 20 runs after 4 innings or 15 runs after 5 innings.
And last year it was close to being that until the USA had a very big inning. But both of these teams are capable of putting big numbers up every inning.
2 outs now, and this is the leadoff hitter, Dave Bolt, who's going to get his 2nd hit of the inning. This is going to drive in another run. Extra bases for Bolt, who can fly. He stops at 2nd. So here in the 1st inning, Dave Bolt a single and a double.
Does this remind you of last year a little bit?
It does. Canada got off to a great start in the early innings in last year's ball game. The Team USA just a little bit too deep, ended up winning. What is an average inning in slow pitch softball in terms of how many runs can be scored?
Well, with the 10 home run limit, or the way it is in league play now at the A division, I think it's 7 home runs or 8 home runs. The 30s and usually in the 30s.
Deep drive left center field, no doubt about that one. Jeff Gare hits a home run, a 2-run shot. That is now 3 home runs used up by the Canadian national team.
And they're using them pretty good too. So they're averaging 2 runs a home run, which is all right.
Go ahead, coach.
What a pretty swing right there. Wow, this ball is just hit on the line, goes right by the scoreboard. No doubt about it when he hits it. Watch out for your automobiles, ladies and gentlemen. And you see right now a good chance to go out and break the momentum a little bit. And that's all that Steve Shortland's trying to do, is to go out and break the momentum of this team that's on fire.
Got one more.
There's Steve Shortland breaking the huddle after talking to Scott Brown and the rest of the infield. Steve Shortland was also the head coach of Team USA a year ago. Shortland also the coach of the U.S. Armed Forces softball team.
In talking to him, I like that he said, you know, there's so many talented players to choose from, but it's very important to him that they choose guys that also are the utmost top character. And so far, these guys have been wonderful for the whole week. They are a good bunch of guys, both sides.
Brian Higginbotham, home run his last time up. Hits this one hard into the gap in left center field. So another rally starting. Higginbotham on his way to 2nd. Remember, folks, Team USA still hasn't even gone to the bat rack.
Well, they certainly got their work cut out for them now. We're seeing a free swing and loose Canadian team right now.
You're talking about the defensive alignment for the Americans a moment ago and mentioning that there's 5 infielders. How often do you see an alignment that has 4 infielders and 4 outfielders?
I don't know that. Well, it varies. It varies. With the home runs being like they are now, they realize guys are going to have to try to hit more base hits. And so that's why they've gone to the 5-man infield. Now, when they used to play unlimited home runs, then guys were always trying to hit the ball deep, so you would have 4 outfielders. But that shows you just exactly how good some of these outfielders are. They cover an awful lot of ground.
Runners on at the corners, 2 outs. Todd Cadenhead from Vaughan, Ontario, doubled and scored earlier this half inning.
Illegal.
That's an illegal pitch. I think that one was too high.
A little too high, and Cadenhead will be trying to hit one out of here.
3-1.
Second walk of the inning. Scott Brown walks Cadenhead, and the bases are going to be loaded. Now, this would be a great time for Canada to hit their 4th home run.
Well, you can bet he'll be trying, and most of the guys in the lineups are home run hitters. But I love the format now because you have to be a two-way player now. You have to play defense, and you also have to be a pretty good offensive player.
This is Jeff Filardo. And Filardo hits it deep to center field, and what do we have? It's gone. A grand slam home run. I thought Rick Baker had it.
I think he does have it. He's got his foot stuck in the fence. We're waiting.
Does he have it?
Show us the ball, Rick.
He made the catch. Are you kidding? Rick Baker saves the grand slam.
Yep.
I thought that was gone.
I tell you, Rick is known as one of the best outfielders, if not the best outfielder in the game today. You get a good look as he stretches up and gets his foot caught in the fence, but hangs on to the ball. Wow.
So, the Canadian national team, they score 11 times, but it could have been 15 without the effort of Rick Baker. When we come back, Team USA heading to the bat rack. Welcome back to the Lumber Liquidators border battle. Canada with 11 runs, and they're having the first inning. But Rick Baker, now maybe the play of the day already. Look at this play. Bases loaded, 2 outs, deep to center field.
And there's a lot of reasons why that's a great play. One is that's a ball hit right at him, which is the toughest one to judge. But he finally got his feet going the right way, turn, goes back to the fence, jumps up, catches the ball right at its highest point, and now has a little bit of problem. See that little look on his face like somebody got to help me get loose here. Great play that saved 4 runs.
Let's take a look at the Lumber Liquidators starting lineup for the Americans. They will bat 10 men in today's ball game. We'll take a look at it in 2 different pages. Brian Wegman, Brett Helmer, J.D. Genter, Johnny McCraw, and Rusty Bumgardner. All 5 of those guys played in last year's border battle. Rick Baker, Jerry Eisenhower, Scott Brown, the pitcher, Jason Kendrick, and Jeff McGavin.
Yeah, Wegman's just a tremendous player, known for maybe the best 2-way player in the game.
Brian Wegman gets himself a base hit. Solidly hit to center field. Runner on at first, nobody out to begin the ball game offensively for Team USA.
Good look at Brian. Has his own softball complex, puts on tournaments all year. Matter of fact, USA played an exhibition in Cincinnati at his place, had a tremendous crowd. I think he was quite pleased with it.
So here's our first look at one of the best players alive today, left-handed hitter from Newport, New York. Close to Utica, not too far away from Syracuse in central New York. This is Brett Helmer. Helmer lines it right to the shortstop. Ryan Cayley has him shaded perfectly.
Ball was hit hard, and it's also one of the strongest men on the USA team, bench pressing over 500 pounds. He's trying to just base hit.
Take a look at the Canadian defense. Higginbotham, the pitcher, throwing to Frank Henry, Falardo, Gare, Cayley, Kelly, and Bergen are the infielders. And it's an outfield. 3 speedy men. Mike Hook, Dave Bolton center, and Jason Galachin. He is in right field.
You notice the midfielder that time, you see him come back into your pictures trying to set up the hitter.
This one hit to center field. Pretty deep. Gone. J.D. Genter. His first home run of the ball game.
Well, I know he wasn't trying to do that, just trying to fill the gap with a base hit. But these guys are so strong, that ball got up in the air and puts the USA on the board.
Doug, you make a great point. There's limited home runs in this ball game, so you want to take advantage of when you hit a home run. It needs to generally be a 3-run home run or a grand slam. How are guys trying not to hit home runs?
Well, it's funny about this game. If you hit it square, solid on the nose like Helmer did, the ball won't get up in the air. You almost have to miss it a little bit, so it puts that backward spin on it. When you put that spin on it, that's when it gets in the air. What guys are trying to do is hit it down and try to stay on top of the ball so they can hit more line drives and more ground balls. That's beautiful right there.
Johnny McCraw splits the gap in right center field on his way to second. Maybe he's going to get 3 out of it. An adventure in the outfield for Jason Galachin before he can get it to the infield, and it is going to be a man on at third base with 1 out for the Americans.
McCraw, just an excellent hitter. Got a chance that time to see him fill the gap. Boy, he just takes those hands inside and inside outs that ball to the right center field gap, and they're so strong they can hit it there with authority.
No error on the play. That's going to be ruled a triple for McCraw.
You know, this game goes so fast, we don't have time to really tell people of all the accolades these guys have won, but they're all Americans. They are the best of the best.
Here's Rusty Bumgardner from Gastonia, North Carolina. Played both football and baseball at Wake Forest University. Went 4 for 5 in last year's game. Hits this one off the second baseman, Gare, who has no chance, once he can't field it cleanly, of throwing Bumgardner out at first. It's an RBI single as McCraw scores.
He not only runs well, he hits with such good power, but you watch now, he's just trying to base hit it. Try to hit it up the middle. They got him played just perfectly. Gare has a little problem with the ball, and time he comes up with it, not in time to get a hustling Rusty Bumgarner.
You know, I gave Bumgarner a base hit, but the official score did not. That's going to be ruled an error on Jeff Gare.
It's a tough league then, because that ball was hit awfully good.
And that's spoken as a Gold Glover at the big league level. My partner Doug Flynn winning the 1980 Gold Glove with the New York Mets before playing a professional slow pitch softball after his career coming to an end.
And never be it me to disagree with an official score at all. Here's Rick Baker, who made that great catch in center field. He has a lot of power, but I imagine he'll be trying to base hit it, and he gets a walk. That's a gift in this game because now you have a chance to unload with your next hitter.
Runners on at first and at second. Second baseman Jeremy Eisenhower will bat.
This young man has some tremendous hands. Played a little pro baseball, but has some great hands. Played in the Philadelphia Phillies system.
Was a 31st round draft choice of the Phillies back in '02. Actually was teammates with a minor league Ryan Howard back in the early 2000s. Skies it to right. This is going to stay in the ballpark. It's caught by Galachin. And they're now 2 outs here in the home half of the first inning. Moving over to third goes Bumgarner. Staying over at first is Baker. So runners on at the corners.
And Scotty Brown's coming up now. Scotty's looking to hit one out. He's got a tremendous power as well. 15 all-world selections. How about this? He met his wife playing softball. Said he pitched to her. She hit a home run. Love at first sight.
It's a true story. Brown from the Twin Cities area of Minnesota. Now got a 3-ball and 1-strike count. Second walk of this half inning. That'll load the bases.
Well, you're one of the hottest players for these U.S. team, Jason Kendrick. Actually, Jason and I played together. My last year was his second year at top-level softball. We played for Vernon's in 1993. He's still around, and he's a tremendous hitter with a lot of power. 240
pounds of power from Naples, Florida.
When he first came up, he was one of those kids that could just fly, had a great arm. Certainly over the years has put on a little muscle.
You know, right now, Higginbotham having a hard time throwing strikes. 3-1. So Higginbotham in danger of walking in a run. There's the strike, counts full. To center field, coming on and making the play is Dave Bolt. So, Team USA, they leave them loaded. And we move to the second inning with Canada on top in this border battle by a score of 11-3. We'll be back in a moment. Let's see what Canada can do in their second look at Scott Brown. Coverage of the KFC World Cup of Softball continues on ESPN2 Sunday and Monday. First, the USA hosting Canada on Sunday at the 5 p.m. Eastern Time start, ESPN2. And then the championship, Monday night. Team USA looking good for that championship. That'll be played 9 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. Team USA has won their first 3 games in the KFC World Cup of Softball. Jenny Finch, her final go-round. International softball for the red, white, and blue. Top of the second inning, leading things off, James Kelly, third baseman for Canada. Hard hit and foul. That was with 2 strikes, and so that's going to be an out. So James Kelly can't keep it in fair territory, and he's the first out of the second inning. Doug, let's talk about the pitching of Scott Brown and what he is doing on that pitcher's rubber. He seems to be moving all over from left to right before throwing his pitch.
He throws a knuckleball, and he'll kind of see which way it's going the best with the wind. And depending on a right-handed or left-handed hitter, he has a ball that moves into left-handers and away from right-handers. So he's just trying to find the best place that he can pitch these guys to try to keep them in the ballpark.
High chopper, it's going to be a tough play. Eisenhower, not in time.
All right, good cheat by Rusty Baumgartner at first, but that was going to be a tough play from the very beginning. Cayley showing a little bit of speed as he gets down the line. You see Rusty going there. He beats it pretty easily. And you got all big 6'6" of Rusty Baumgartner stretch, and he can almost stretch across the infield.
That's one of the things you'll find about this game is even though these guys are 250 pounds, some of them, and just huge boppers, they get down that line pretty good.
They do. They really do. And that's, you know, there used to be that old stereotype that it was just the beer leagues and a bunch of old fat guys that was out playing ball. That's not the case anymore. These are athletes. They train. They lift weights. They watch what they eat. They go out and they practice hard. So that stereotype, you need to come watch a ball game, and like we're doing today, to realize just how good these athletes are.
These two teams put together basically all-star teams. It's the best of the best plucked from different leagues, different parts of the country coming together and playing over the weekend.
And softball is huge in Canada. And I didn't realize that till I went back in 1993 and played in Le Pif, or the Pif is what it's called, and they had fireworks and 10,000 people, and it's very big.
Mike Hook hits it to center field. Team USA has a man there. Rick Baker will run it down. There are now 2 outs. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Canada scoring 11 times in the top of the first inning. What if they don't score at all here in the second?
And that's possible. It looks like right now they're trying to save their home runs, just trying to get some base hits. And that's why you see the 5-man infield, because it changes your whole swing.
Jason Gallatin from Langley, British Columbia. Same hometown as Danielle Laurie, great female pitcher for the Canadian national team.
That'll get him a couple.
2 runs score, 1 swing of the bat. Gallatin hits his first home run of the afternoon. Lead is now 13-3 for Canada.
Couple balls, coach.
There's so much power represented here in these two teams.
So next man in line, Kevin Bergen hits, trying to restart a rally.
How about this guy? August the 2nd, he leaves to play pro hockey in France. And his father hit the first home run at the PIF, which is one of the huge tournaments in Canada. And I think he got like $1,000. They said whoever hit the first home run up there. So his dad did that. So it's kind of neat. They usually invite one American team in a year to come up and play in it. There's that knuckleball.
Called strike 3. That's actually 2 recorded strikeouts here in the top of the second inning for Scott Brown. He fools Kevin Bergen with a good knuckleball. And that's progress for the Americans. They only allow 2 runs to score here in the top of the second inning for Canada. Scott Brown. Beautiful pitch. And it's a strikeout.
What is power without agility? Control without grip. Driving without precision. Introducing the award-winning, luxury-loaded, European-tuned, all-wheel drive 2011 Kizashi from Suzuki. No wonder it was voted best in class. The power of control.
Hi, I'd like an oil change, please.
Sure. Did you call our appointment hotline?
No, I just stopped in.
Yeah, we kind of would like you to call the hotline. Okay. Thank you for calling our appointment hotline. Please hold. I'm currently assisting a customer. Man, it's crazy busy here today.
Ready for a change? Come in for a warranty-approved oil change. No appointment necessary. At Mr. Lube.
There are 10 keys hidden in Canada. One could unlock the caramel secret and $250,000. The keys are inside specially marked caramel bars.
They're in the caramel bars.
It's been a while since I needed a tie.
Dad, you're gonna get this job.
I know it.
Just for Men. Targets only the gray in 5 easy minutes.
How'd it go, Dad?
Honey, I think I'm going to need more ties.
Yes!
Just for Men.
Welcome back, everyone. ASA Hall of Fame Stadium here in Oklahoma City. This is the Lumber Liquidators border battle. Canada on top of Team USA, 13-3. Ryan Higginbotham back on the mound for his second inning of work. We've seen 5 home runs so far in the ball game, 4 by Canada, 1 for Team USA. Leadoff single here. Jeff McGavin gets the base hit. He's the number 10 hitter in the lineup. He's aboard. Nobody out here in the second.
Big Detroit Tiger fan. He and his family, his mom and dad, wife and baby Braden, all drove here from Cincinnati. Said, man, wasn't that a long drive? They said, yeah, but it was well worth it. And you know, to a man, regardless of all their accomplishments, every single player has said the greatest thrill in their life has been to put this uniform on and play for the USA.
Top of the lineup again. Brian Wegman bats for a second time. Singled and scored in the first. You talked about how he may be the best two-way player in the game. Great hitter, but also valuable defensively as that middle infielder.
He can play anywhere, but he plays up the middle and has a great arm and really good hands.
Pops it down the right side. Foul territory, out of play. Counts full 3-2. Wegman, like so many of these guys for Team USA, played college baseball. Played at Evansville.
3-2 count.
Makes his home in Hamilton, Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. Good Midwesterner.
All the way.
Line drive into the gap, right center field. That'll make it to the wall and rattle around a bit. Chugging around third, McGavin being waved around. He'll score easily. That's a stand-up triple for Wegman. Doug, do you change your approach with 2 strikes on you when you know that a foul ball will be a strikeout?
Absolutely. You're thinking middle of the field, and right now middle of the field is all right. The gaps, we can tell, are wide open. You can see he's thinking nothing but hit it to the right center field gap on that pitch. And all of these guys are better one way or the other. They'll either like it better to the right. There's a base hit.
Brett Helmer gets his first base hit of the ball game, trying to stop it in the right field alley is Gallatin. Has to fall to his knees, and that's going to be another triple for Team USA.
And here's a man that bench presses over 500 pounds, and you see him running the bases and going into third easily. That impresses me. So these guys are not just home run hitters and power hitters, but they're great base hitters. That's why most of them hit well over 700, 750 throughout the course of the year.
Hold on, pitch.
Still nobody out here, home half of the second inning. J.D. Genter, third baseman, swings at the first pitch, and he pokes it into the gap in right center field. That'll score Helmer easily. It's going to be an RBI single for Genter.
He's such a good hitter. He may be the best hitter in the country right now because he can do everything. He can hit with power. He can base hit it. And that's kind of the standard now. You know, like when people ask, what did we hit in softball? It's kind of somewhere over 700 is what puts you in that elite group.
Another bullet, this one to left field. Johnny McCraw gets his second base hit of the ball game. Runners on at first and at second.
Now, hang on. Tie down the children, ladies and gentlemen, because this man will be trying to hit one 500 feet. And take a good look at the signs out there, and he was hitting them well over those trees in practice yesterday.
Rusty Baumgartner from Gastonia, North Carolina. Reached on an error his first time up.
Wait on the verbal pitch.
Baumgartner, part of 5 ASA National Championship teams. Doesn't like that first pitch. It's a ball, goes to the backstop. Neither base runner chooses to move up a base.
And they can steal. That's another little thing they've added to the game this year, is to keep the catcher in the game. But both runners didn't take a chance that time. Wanted Big Rusty to get a chance to let it go.
Play.
There you go.
No doubt about this one. This may make it over the scoreboard. Wow. It does. Don't think you can hit it any harder than that. 3-run home run, Baumgartner.
I think Rusty would tell you that he got all of that one. And what's so impressive about the big man, he's 6'6" and weighs 275 pounds. But at the time before he got up and just tried to do a base hit, you get a shot well over that scoreboard.
So the lead for Canada is now just 4. At one point, they had an 11-0 lead after their half of the first inning. Now the score is 13-9. The Americans coming back. Still nobody out here in the second inning. Flare down the left field line, and it's caught by Mike Hook. That's the type of defense you need to play at this level of softball.
Well, that's why Canada is going to stay in this ball game, because they can run it down in the outfield. And we saw a good example of Mike Hook. Got a good break. The ball kept drifting away from him, but he stayed with it, made a good over-the-shoulder catch. Yeah, that ball was hooking and getting away from him. Boy, he does a nice job of getting to it.
First out here in the home half of the second inning. Now the second baseman, Jeremy Eisenhower from Olathe, Kansas. He flat out to right his first time up. His first base hit in the left field. Cut off nicely by Hook, trying to cut him down at second. Throw is too high and too late. Double for Eisenhower,
who runs really well. You could see he was thinking double all the way on that ball.
Hi, you guys.
Beautiful swing.
Something to keep in mind. We'll be talking about this all afternoon long. Team USA, even though they're down by 4, may have an advantage. They've only hit 2 home runs. Canada has hit 4 already. Remember, there's a limit of 10 that you're allowed to hit throughout the course of the ball game. It's a fly ball to center field. Scott Brown flies out to Dave Bolt. There are now 2 outs here in this bottom of the second.
Scotty was just trying to hit the ball up the middle that time. Got under it just a little bit and had some of that backspin on it. But he was just trying to hit a base hit up the middle. And he's guessing a lot with that midfielder, too, Kevin Bergen. We see him in our picture lot, number 39. He's moving back and forth, and he's trying to bait some of the hitters. But you see the way their infield is spread out now. The one right behind the pitcher's mound, that's Kevin Bergen. And he'll be bouncing back and forth, trying to get the hitters to think he's going to play on one side of the pitcher, and then he'll go to the other side.
Two outs, runner on at third. Jason Kendrick grabs the bat.
All right. Yeah, I think so. Yes, sir. Tell me when you're ready.
Kendrick lined out to the center fielder Bolt to end the first inning. High pop-up. This is going to end the inning. The shortstop, Cayley, makes the play. Side retired. But Team USA, they score 6 times. Score is now 13-9. Third is next here in Oklahoma City. On top of Team USA, 13-9. Top of the third, Lumber Liquidators border battle. Round the bases with ESPN Sunday and Monday night. Major League Baseball coming your way. Albert Pujols and the Cardinals taking on the Cubs on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. That's 8 Eastern time. Then on ESPN's Monday Night Baseball at 7 Eastern time, Triple Crown contender Miguel Cabrera leading the Tigers against the Rays. Both games also available on ESPN3.com. First ball swinging, deep drive to left, and it's caught. Johnny McCraw. Nice play in front of the fence for the first out here in the third inning.
Well, the way the ball was hit, it didn't look like it had enough to get out of the park, but it just kept drifting and drifting. Johnny keeps drifting with it. You can see him feel like, all right, I got a shot. Well, it almost gets to the fence. No giving style points on that, John, but great play, buddy. Had a way to play that win.
First time today that Dave Bolt has been retired. Here's Jeff Gare. Jeff Gare, not only a great slow pitch softball player, but if you have a pool table that needs servicing, he's your guy. He owns a pool table servicing company in London, Ontario.
Wow. And most of these guys do have their own jobs. I mean, this is not something they do as a profession. This is a hobby.
tried to backhand it. Eisenhower just can't hang in there. You're one of the best fielders that has ever played at the major league level. You won a Gold Glove in the major leagues. You also played this sport. How difficult is that play that Eisenhower tried to make?
That play is just as tough as it looked on television. The ball is coming off so fast. These guys hit it so hard, and with this infield being like it is, it's getting there on so quick. You used to be able, you watch, that's only one step from him, but he doesn't have time to get over in front of it. So the only way he can do it is try to backhand it, and that's going to be a great play if he makes it. Consequently, it's just a base hit.
How many times out of 10 does Eisenhower make that play? This ball is hit hard, foul.
You know what? He'll make the play because he's a good fielder. But a play like that, you're just at pot luck because, first of all, you got a left-hander who hit it. So the ball, he sliced it. The ball's going away from him. So when it hit the ground, it's still going to have overspin on it going away. That's a really tough play. And I'm not taking up for my middle infielders, although I normally do. But that is a tough play.
The pitcher, Brian Higginbotham. That's with a runner on it, first and one out.
Now, having said that, if he makes that play, that's a rally killer for Canada. Those are the kind of plays that win you the ball games.
1-2 pitch. Blasted high and deep down the line. That's another home run, the 5th home run for Canada. So Canada, they've used up half of their home runs.
Boy, he's just such a good hitter. Look how solid. Gets a pitch right up in the letters. Hits the ball up in the trees. He's solid. What a nice guy. I had a chance to talk with him yesterday a little bit. He says we had met, but neither one of us can figure out where it was because the time he got into the game, there's a happy fan. Got a couple of home run balls. So I told him maybe he heard it from his father or grandfather or something. We can't figure out where we met.
Frank Henry, the catcher, loops this one, foul territory, and that's going to make it into the stands. Ball and 2 strikes. Henry's not been retired today, 2 for 2 with a home run. That home run was a disappointment back in the first inning. It was a solo home run. That is something you do not want to do. That's right. You're limited to 10 home runs for the team.
And they're halfway through here in the 3rd inning. They've been getting pretty good production out of their home runs, but you'd sure like to have a few saved back just in case.
Scott Brown, the 1-2 pitch. A legal pitch that didn't go the required 6 feet high.
Umpire makes that very plain, too. Although you can hit an illegal pitch if you want to.
Hard smash. This could end the inning. Wegman over the first. Snats out number 2.
That's what we talked about Wegman. Just makes it routine. He's got a very strong arm. He covers the middle of that field. What they used to call the rover in the old days, they've moved him in now to have a 5-man infield.
So 2 outs, bases clear. The EP, the extra player, Todd Cadenhead will bat. 1 for 1 with a walk his last time up. To right, perfectly played. Jason Kendrick with the squeeze, side retired. Canada scores only twice. When we come back, more big bombers for Team USA. There's nothing rusty about Mr. Baumgartner's swing. He hit it over the scoreboard. Canada feeling good about themselves. They lead this Lumber Liquidators border battle by a score of 15-9. We have seen some tape measure home runs. Canada, they have hit 5 home runs so far through their first 3 at-bats. Team USA, they have homered twice in their first 2 at-bats. If you ask me, the longest home run we have seen off the bat of Rusty Baumgartner. His 3-run shot over the scoreboard in left center field. Jeff McGavin leads things off, hitting it to left, and it's caught. Mike Hook. That's his second elite-level play out in left field.
I tell you, he's made 2 tremendous plays. He got a great jump on that ball. It's a line shot. If he doesn't get to it, it goes by him for a triple or maybe an inside to Parker, but he makes a brilliant catch. Laid out, Good extension. I guess he learned at the University of Louisville.
Leadoff man out here in the third inning for Team USA. Here's Brian Wegman, 2 for 2. A couple of runs scored. He has singled and he has tripled. Goes the opposite way with authority. Now a 3 for 3 day for Wegman. Let's talk a little bit about pitching right now. Brian Higginbotham, we see that knuckleball that he throws. How much movement can you actually get when you're throwing it literally 10 miles an hour?
Well, you'll get a little bit. It's going to move left or right, and the ball is just going to sit there and flutter a little bit. It's not going to be like Hoyt Wilhelm, of course, but they can get movement, and it's something different because there's not a lot of pitchers that throw that pitch. A lot of pitchers will throw it with just a little spin on it. And he's got the perfect day to throw it because a knuckleballer wants to throw it into the wind, and that's what he's doing today.
Brett Helmer takes down low. 3-1. I don't know if my notes are right, but I remember talking about last year, Brett Helmer deadlifting 710 pounds. Is that humanly possible?
That's probably right. And he hopes that ball stays in. Oh, that's a rocket off the scoreboard.
Off the netting of the scoreboard. First home run of the ball game for Brett Helmer, a 2-run shot. And Team USA, they're going to be within 4. 15-11 is now the count.
He was just trying to hit a ball in the gap, but he is so strong. Watch his powerful swing by this big man. And they put a net up there, it looks like, and it's a good thing because they would be putting some dents in that thing.
We've been keeping track of the home runs in the round of runs that they've accounted for. Yep. Team USA, that's their third home run. They've scored 7 runs with their 3 home runs. You said you want to try and average close to 3 runs per home run, so they're a little bit behind that. Canada, 5 home runs. They have scored 10 runs on those 5 homers. So they are well below that 3-run average you'd like.
Exactly. And it's hard to do. Like I said, today it's real important with that wind blowing out. These guys have been practicing on the field with the wind blowing dead in, so it's tough to keep the ball in the ballpark, and you don't often hear that. Great hitting right there.
J.D. Genter, line drive into center field. He's a perfect 3 for 3. Just noticing Brian Higginbotham continually looks behind him before every pitch.
Yes, he wants to see where the midfielder's playing, so he'll know whether to pitch a hitter on the inside or the outside. That time there was a big hole as the midfielder went over to the second base side, and Jenner's just a great hitter.
It doesn't affect the pitch he's going to throw. It just so he knows where to go.
Exactly. Yeah, because you want him to go to the opposite side of where that midfielder goes.
Johnny McCraw takes ball 1. McCraw played collegiately at Appalachian State, makes his home in Lake Wiley, South Carolina.
3-1. That's it.
There's a strike, 3-2. Now a foul ball, and it's going to be a strikeout of McCraw.
He just
to left field, and that's going to be another home run. The 4th for Team USA off the light tower. Another 2-run home run.
That's fine.
You watch the way he turns his shoulder. He's got, these guys are so strong, and they work out. Watch, he'll turn back, and then boom. They just have such good upper body strength, and a lot of them are still lifting weights. This ball hits way up on the flagpole or up on the light tower. I'm jealous. I was trying to hit a little gork over second base or something. These guys are bombing it.
Rusty Baumgartner. Home run over the scoreboard his last time up.
There's a big hole right up the middle. Rusty will be trying to hit, I imagine, a line drive just to the pitcher's right.
Past the diving shortstop Cayley. Doug, I want to ask you, you won a Gold Glove at the Major League level at the New York Mets, but you told me earlier that something happened to you 2 different occasions playing slow pitch softball that never happened to you playing Major League Baseball.
That's true. I had a couple of cups broken, and matter of fact, I got one on now. I don't watch a game at all without wearing one. So, but I did. When I came to this game, you know, I played all those years in baseball. Of course, we had grass infields, and I played some on AstroTurf, but never even came close. And then all of a sudden, these big 6'6", 280-pound guys start hitting these rockets at me, and I had 2 cups broken. So it tells you how fast the ball gets there.
This one drilled to the gap in right center field. That's going to bounce off the wall. Rick Baker, extra bases, moves Bumgartner over to third. And there are now runners on at second and third with 1 out here in the home half of the third.
United States putting together a nice little rally right now, coming back after having 2 great defensive stops, holding Canada to just 2 runs the last 2 innings.
So what do you ask out of Jeremy Eisenhower here? He's going to bat with 2 men in scoring position.
Hit a bomb.
He's not the biggest guy on the roster, but you still ask him to hit the home run.
Well, they can all hit the home run, so you're asking him to take a good swing and try to hit the ball out of here. Absolutely. And the one thing that you don't want to do, you want to stay out of, it used to be you wanted to stay out of the middle. Now you've got that middle infielder there, so you're looking to try to go gap to gap. And so what he'll probably try to do is hit it out in one of the gaps. If he happens to hit a line drive, at least he's going to have a double. If he gets it up in the air, it's a home run. But all of these guys have home run power. Call him Izzy.
Wait on the verbal pitch. Wait on the verbal.
And he does have some excellent hands.
Play.
Chance to tie it or go ahead.
Ball's hit pretty good.
That's going to give Team USA their first lead of the ball game. A 3-run home run for Eisenhower. And it is now a 16-15 lead for the Americans.
Once you get 2 men on, you have to try to go for the home run. If you only get 10 of them, then you try to get at least 3 runs on every one. He's got a short swing. You could tell from that baseball background. Short, compact swing, but a very strong young man. That ball probably only went about 360 feet. That's a long way.
Bases clear. Still just 1 out. Home half of the third inning. The pitcher, Scott Brown, bats for the 3rd time. Brown walked his first time up. He has also flied to center field. There's his first base hit.
Scotty's family's here, and that's what I've noticed about the USA team, since this is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many of the guys. They brought their families out to enjoy the hospitality and warmth of ASA and all the fine folks here, as well as Oklahoma City. The last time I was here in 1988 when we won the Super right here on this very field. And that was a great thrill. Also came out here and had a chance to play for a medal when softball was an exhibition sport in the Summer Olympic Festival, and they divided guys up into 4 teams, took some of the top 52 players in the country, and our team happened to win the gold. And I've got that treasured just as much as I do anything that I've ever had.
This is Jeff Long, the head coach for Canada, now in his 2nd year with the national team here at this border battle.
A guy on first and him batting.
Yeah.
Is that the 2nd meeting they had?
Jeff was a great softball player in Canada as well. I want to thank Mark Turcotte for giving me a lot of stats on this Canadian team. He travels with them, and you saw me talking with him last night. We talked about an hour of softball and about 3 hours of Montreal Expo baseball. He is a huge baseball fan, grew up watching the Big Red Machine, and so when he saw me last night, it kind of aged both of us, really.
Now, is it true that it was just the Red Machine until you joined the club, and then all of a sudden they decided to call it the Big Red Machine?
Well, my buddy Johnny Bench is watching today, I know. He's from Binger, Oklahoma. And he's always saying I was a utility player, but I said, Johnny, you know, in 70 you got beat by Baltimore, in 72 you got beat by Oakland, 73 you didn't even get out of the league. I got there in 75 and 76 we won. You do the math. So I told him, just call me the glue. That's all you have to say. But obviously I was just a utility player on that wonderful ball club.
Jason Kendrick, guy that you've played with.
But Jason's struggling a little more than I've seen him. He's trying to do something that he's a little bit out of his. He doesn't hit the ball well the opposite way.
Oh, look at this double play. Beautifully turned. It was off the pitcher's glove. It was picked up by Kevin Bergen, who throws it over to first, side retired. It's a 6.5 to 3. The middle infielder turning the double play of a ball off the pitcher's glove.
Beautiful hands by Bergen.
Welcome back, everyone. Oklahoma City Lumber Liquidators border battle. Canada had led for the first couple of innings, but no longer. Rusty Baumgartner and the United States have taken a one-run lead with former Cincinnati Red and New York Met Doug Flynn, who also played professionally at the elite slow-pitch softball level. I'm Eric Collins. Let's talk about this path of this game. Canada had a great start, but that lead's evaporated.
Well, they couldn't have got off to a better start. They scored 11 runs in the first innings, and that's one of the things that we said they had to do to stay in the game. The U.S. has shut them down the last 2 innings, and their bats are starting to come to life. They've had a couple of guys that have been swinging it real well, but right now both teams have 5 home runs. That could be a big factor as we move on this ball game.
Top of the 4th inning, and we have one fundamental change across the diamond right now for Team USA. We're going to take a look over the next half inning. The hats have changed to a man. Defensively, everyone on Team USA wearing a different hat than they were wearing before.
Well, they are honoring all the branches of service, so every guy is wearing a hat from a different branch, as well as for firemen and for policemen.
First ball swinging, bouncer right to the second baseman. Eisenhower throws to first. Jeff Falardo is retired for the first out here in the top of the 4th.
You could hear that was an illegal pitch, but he had the option to swing at it. If he does swing at it, it is in play. But, you know, there's a military background right here. As you see the Army hat right there. There's Hank Garris wearing a different one. Steve Shortland, as we said, retired from the United States Air Force. But Randy Raper, who's on this ball club as an assistant coach, is still on active duty. And so a great shout out from Randy to all of his buddies that are over watching this game all over the country. And I think this is just an unbelievable way to honor our military men and women, as well as Pat Del Sanders, who is a coach also of this ball club, and he is a Marine, or a former Marine. And so it's a great shout out not only to what they're doing, playing here, representing their countries. We see a ball hit out of here. There's a solo home run shot.
It's probably a disappointment for James Kelly. Last thing you want to be doing is hitting solo home runs right now.
That's exactly right.
You'd want to at least get a 2-run home run, if not a 3-run home run or a grand slam, with only 10 home runs that you're allowed.
You're exactly right. But I tell you what, there's men and women over there that are fighting so that we got the opportunity to be here and play the game of softball and baseball and broadcast like you're doing with the Dodgers. So this is a way that Steve Shortland wanted to say thank you and to salute the guys. I also got to say hello to a couple of grandkids. Bo and Mia, Pat Del Sanders' grandkids, are watching today, and they should be awfully proud of their granddaddy who served our country in the Marines.
Tie ball game, 16 apiece. Ryan Cayley, the shortstop. It's this ball to his opposite number. It's bobbled by McGavin, and no chance. The minute you don't field it cleanly, more than not, the guy's going to be safe. It's going to be an error.
Yes, sir.
Second error of the ball game.
We have time, guys.
And there's a runner on at first with 1 out.
I tell you, he's sure-handed shortstop. I've been watching him play for a while, and he's got good hands. That ball comes off the bat hard, and this infield's hard, and if it bounces up or takes any kind of little hop, it's going to eat you up.
And number 14 is in.
14 for 30, is that what you're saying?
We're having some moves right now.
All right, got it, Coach. Wood is 14, right?
Ryan Wood is going to come in
double check
be
and
the
make
batter.
sure. Yeah. 14 is Wood. Yes, that's what I want. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, we're informed by Jeff Long that Ryan Wood is going to come on and pinch hit for Mike Hook.
Come on, Wood.
Here's something that's kind of interesting. Ryan Wood not only plays on the slow pitch national team, plays on the Canadian fast pitch team. That's hard to do.
Good start.
Line drive down the third base line. Extra bases. Wood on his way towards second. Coming around third is Ryan Cayley. He will score, and Canada takes the lead right back. It's now a 17-16 lead. RBI double for Wood.
Boy, got him pitch up, and he is trying to hit a line drive down the third base line, and he sure does that. McCrawls are going to try to get over to cut it off. Backhands it. Ball gets away from him a little bit, but it was going to be a sure double anyway.
Right fielder Gallatin steps in. Home run his last time up. Takes a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eisenhower. Oh, he throws it away. Second error of the inning for Team USA. And that's a play that he makes every single time.
Every time. I'm as shocked as you are, because as sure-handed as he is, that was kind of reminiscent of what Steve Sachs got into a few years ago. But I don't know if the ball slipped out of his hand. He's got plenty of time to make the play. There's a hustling down that throw. If Rusty can't get it, you know the throw's away. I don't know if the ball just slipped or what.
What do you guys see?
Yeah, you see it looks like he just tries to push it over. The ball just slides out of his hand.
Got to keep him in the dugout over here now.
We're going to have another
that's what we saw. It didn't come near the plate. Right, that's what we saw. We just want to make sure we keep him in.
Okay.
All right, what you got?
I have the last batter in the lineup is, I guess...
Number 39?
Yes, he is out.
Yes, sir.
And Jeff Zanoli, which is number 10, I think.
Number 10, yes, sir.
10 in for him.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let me put him in here. Got it, Coach?
Thank you.
Well, that's great. You got him mic'd and you can hear exactly what's going on. I believe I did hear a little out.
Yes, you can tell which team is the Canadian team.
Jeff Zanoli in as an infielder, a middle infielder, has some very good hands.
Here we go. He's from Taber, Alberta. Not too far from Calgary.
Let me know when you're set, sir.
Canada on top by a run. Team USA's made 2 errors.
That's right. They could be out of the inning with just giving up 1 run. But when you don't make plays in this game, it could cost you 7 or 8.
Ball.
Scott Brown still pitching with that mask on for Team USA. Diving play by Wegman over to first. Got him.
That's big league right there. That's why Wegman's considered maybe the best player in the country. Does a great job. That looks like Ozzie Smith. Goes to his backhand. This ball's ripped hard. Slides up, comes up fast with a cannon, and makes a great play to first base. Woo, I like that.
The pick was incredible enough, but that throw, just an absolute BB over to first. They're now 2 outs. A run did score. Still a runner on at second. Top of the lineup, Dave Bolt swings at the first pitch and hits it foul. Now he's got 2 strikes on him. Remember, a foul ball with 2 strikes, and it's considered to be a strikeout.
And this is a tremendous softball player right here. He's not only a great defensive player, but he's just a wonderful hitter. And having watched him play on television and then getting an opportunity to see him over the last couple of days, he is a really good softball player. He could play with anybody in the country.
Catcher Brett Helmer moving guys around defensively. They're shading Bolt towards that gap in right center field. Into left field, that's going to get down. That's going to score another run. 2-out RBI single for Bolt, his 3rd hit of the afternoon. How much different is the softball swing from the baseball swing that you used to use when you were in the major league?
It's very different. In softball, you got to generate all your own power. Baseball, the pitcher's supplying a lot of the power with the speed of the ball coming in. It took me about 2 years to really find out how to do it. And there's an art to it. And people ask me, well, could a good all-star baseball team? Ball's hit pretty good to left center.
That's deep to the warning track. It's out off the scoreboard. Home run for Jeff Gare, his 2nd home run. He's 4 for 4. But the home run's starting to add up for Canada. They have now hit 7 of their allotted 10 home runs. This one a 2-run shot. They have scored 13 runs now on their 7 home runs.
It gives them a little breathing room, though. They come back with 6 runs after the USA has started to put together some pretty good innings, and so it gives them some breathing room. But he has a beautiful swing.
So your answer, could an elite Major League Baseball team compete here?
No. Not unless they got out of baseball and spent some time practicing. Matter of fact, we had an opportunity to play against the Barry Bonds All-Stars one year. We put together some softball players, and it wasn't really close. There's a solo shot. I'm sure they're not really happy with that.
Home run for Higginbotham. That is now the 8th home run for Canada. And that one just a solo shot. That's the second time they've hit a solo home run. It's the 3rd home run of the ball game for Higginbotham, but that's one that he didn't want. And look at this. This guy's not even that happy that he hit the home run.
Well, you're disappointed because you're trying to hit the ball down, and you know you've wasted a home run that you might need later. We're just in the 4th inning. You know, they've got rules now at some of the leagues where you don't have to run out the home runs. You hit them, and you don't have to run around the bases. And I'm saying, you know, there's some guys that may not even see the bases. They're such good hitters, they may not even see those bases for a whole game. Kind of like me, I got the first one day and had to ask Dow Maxfield, my first base coach, which way was second. I hadn't been there for so long.
Is he? There you go. Frank Henry to right field gets himself another base hit, so the inning continues here at the top of the 4th inning.
So we go out with a good group of softball players to play against Barry Bonds, Frank Howard, Jeff Bagwell, Mike Piazza. They scored 7 runs the first inning, but we ended up beating them really bad because you can't compete with guys that are softball players. I mean, the baseball swing is so different. Short, compact, quick. Softball swing is long, and you got to know when to hit the ball, hit it just as it starts on its way down. Baseball players were hitting it on the nose, so they can't. But softball players couldn't go and compete against him in baseball as well.
But defensively, was there much of a difference?
That game there wasn't.
Extra bases down the left field line. Todd Cadenhead has it rattled around in the corner. They're going to wave around Henry, and he'll score without a throw. 23rd run of the ball game for Canada. And remember, this is an inning that probably should have been over, I don't know, a good 5-10 minutes ago. Team USA with a couple of errors in this inning, giving life to Canada.
And as we said earlier, we thought the key for Canada would be to make the routine play, but so far in this game, it's been the United States not making the play. And when you say routine, they're really not routine because these balls are hit awfully hard. But they're plays that can be made.
12th man to hit here in this inning. Jeff Falardo hits it to deep right center field, and that's going to be over the fence for another home run. Home run number 9 for the Canadians. They have just one more home run that they're allowed to hit. After that, anytime the ball leaves the yard, it's going to be an out.
So if you're United States right now, you're not too worried.
A couple of balls.
But you can see a big smile on his face, but very few times do you see a guy coming in to hit a home run that's a little disappointed.
Thank you, sir.
Still 2 outs. Scott Brown being failed by his defense at the beginning part of this inning, and that's why Team USA still out on the field defensively. James Kelly bats for the 2nd time here in the 4th inning. He hit a home run earlier this inning. This should end the frame. McGavin throws. Baumgartner with the tag on the way by. Side retired, but more damage done for Canada. They now have a 25-16 lead.
Dude.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Canada now back up by 9 runs. 25-16 is our score. And I'll talk about the slow pitch softball. A couple of weeks ago, Angel Stadium in Anaheim, the Taco Bell Legends and Celebrity Softball game. John Kruk was there. Bo Jackson was there. But also there was Natasha Watley starting shortstop for Team USA softball, fast pitch style. Jenny Finch, she was there as well, hitting a home run. And if you'd like to see Natasha Watley and Jenny Finch, you can do it right here later today. Coverage of the KFC World Cup of Softball. It's going to continue later tonight. We're actually going to have a game against Japan. We'll tell you that in a moment. But also on Sunday and on Monday. Canada and USA Sunday on ESPN2, 5 o'clock Eastern time. And then on Monday, the championship game. More than likely, Team USA trying to defend their title. ESPN2, 9 Eastern time. That's the KFC World Cup of Softball presented by Six Flags on ESPN2. Later today, we're going to see Team USA taking on Japan. That's a rematch of a game that was played on Friday night. Team USA with a win. Leading things off here in the home half of inning number 4. That's going to be a solo home run. The shortstop, Jeff McGavin, didn't mean to, but the ball just flew out of the ballpark in center field. Yeah, he's trying to get the base hit up the middle and just hit underneath the ball, got the right spin on it. Like I say, every one of these guys can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Has a little unorthodox stance. He played baseball at Eastern Michigan. Gets a pitch up. He's trying to get on top of it, but just doesn't quite get on top enough, and the ball just floats out of center field. That's now 16 home runs for Team USA, accounting for 13 runs. Doug, you said beginning of the game, teams want to average 3 runs per home run. They'd like 30 runs out of their 10 allotted home runs. But we said also that we knew it was going to be tough because of the way this wind is blowing. The wind's blowing dead out, and anything up in the air is going to get out of here. Top of the lineup, Brian Wegman.
That's it.
3-1 to Wegman. Hadn't been retired so far today. Couple of singles and a triple. Now he's walked. Doug, who's the best player you've ever seen? Wow, softball player? Yep. Well, there was a lot of them. When I first came up, there were guys like Cecil Whitehead and played with Howard's Furniture, which is such a big thing. And, you know, I played with some good guys at Star Path. Matter of fact, my sponsors here, Hank Bassett, and the sponsors are so important to this game. They put so much money and time into this. There's Helmer. Into the gap. Brett Helmer is going to get himself extra bases. Wegman on his way to third. He'll be waved around. He'll score easily. And it's a double for Helmer. There was some great players back when I played, just like there are today. Dan Shuck was a great player. Jimmy Fuller, Charles Wright. All of them are big power hitters. Ron Parnell, who's still playing in his early 50s, and they say he's just as good as he always was. Todd Jerling, who's the honorary captain of the USA team. You know, Jason Kendrick. These guys were wonderful players. That's another reason why I got out at age 43, because I wasn't playing up to the standards that I thought I should, and guys had gotten a lot better in this game.
Hold up, pitch.
Nobody out, home half of the 4th inning. Already 2 runs have scored. J.D. Genter, maybe off the end of the bat. That's going to make it all the way to the warning track. It's caught for the first out here in the 4th. Had a different sound to it. Yep, all these guys have their own bats, their own models, and that's unusual. He was trying to hit that ball down the right field line. I know he just got under it just a little bit. This is big for the U.S. right here, though. They need to put something together to try to get back into this. Canada's playing extremely well, and they're very loose. They've shown that they can base hit it.
Yes, sir. You know what you said. Hold up, pitch.
Lead is 7 for Canada.
Play.
Johnny McCraw hits it high and deep to center field, and you can tell with the grunt and the groan after he hit it, it's a home run. That's the good news. The bad news is it's the 7th home run hit for Team USA, and it's only going to count for 2 runs. Well, better 2 than 1, but you'd still like to have the 3-run homer, and then I know he was trying to hit the ball in the gap. And let's take a look at the Six Flags game track as it ejected. Johnny McCraw goes back to the dugout. Canada 11 runs in the 1st inning to give themselves a big lead. They also had a 10-run 4th inning. The Team USA slowly but surely coming back. They have now hit 7 home runs through the first 4 innings. There's a limit of 10 home runs that each team can hit. After the 10th home run, if the ball leaves the ballpark, it's an out. And Team USA's hit 7, Canada's hit 9. And we could get to that 10 pretty quick, and then we'll start to see exactly how good the defenses are and how good of base hitters these guys are. Rusty Baumgartner hit a ball over the left center field scoreboard. Rusty can hit the ball all over the place. That time looking to go to first base or down the first base line. He doesn't want to hit a home run, and there's a walk for him.
Boy, when you're that big and can hit it that far, but also be such a good base hitter. And you notice Higginbotham does not wear a face mask. And it doesn't look like he has any shin guards on. He's tough, but he's got those glasses on. He's such a good player and has been for so many years.
Is that tough or is that crazy?
I think the answer is yes.
Oh, right back to him. Double play. Who needs a mask when you got reflexes like that? Higginbotham on a ball scolded right back to him with the backhand and the quick throw to first to retire the side.
And right on cue, you see why Rusty Higginbotham is one of the best players, not only in Canada, but in the world.
Rivalries are renewed as NASCAR's best head to the most storied track in all of racing. Jimmy Johnson looks to tie Jeff Gordon as the winningest driver at the Brickyard. It's the Brickyard 400, Sunday at 1 Eastern Time on ESPN. Coverage begins with NASCAR Countdown at noon. Telecast presented by Golden Corral. The masked man, Scott Brown, trying to work a scoreless fifth inning. I don't think we're ever going to see that.
I don't think so either.
Scored in every half inning. Last time Canada at the dish, they scored 10 times.
Yeah, right now, those two big innings, certainly the difference in this ball game.
Ryan Cayley, Mike Hook, and Jason Galichin, the scheduled 3 hitters here in this fifth inning.
There you go.
Popped up, playable, going back. Wegman makes the play.
It's like he was battling the sun a little bit there. That ball was right up in the sun. I don't know if he's got shades on or not. He sure doesn't, but he got his glove up, protected himself just perfectly.
The wind blowing out here on a hot, steamy day in Oklahoma City. We've seen a combined 16 home runs through 4 innings. All right, 1 out, bases clear. Another look at Ryan Wood. He came on to pinch hit an inning ago. He pinch hit and doubled. Wood is from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Some people call it the Chicago of Canada. And Wegman, he's been a man of many talents.
I tell you what, that's the wrong place to hit it because he can flat pick it. And that time he sort of baited him. He kind of moved over to the right side like he was going to break up the shortstop and then started moving up the middle. He covers a lot of ground there too, and the ball's hit so hard, believe it, if it's hit to your left or to your right, you don't have a lot of time to make the play. It has to be almost right at you.
Well, I said that Scott Brown wanted to have a scoreless inning. He's got 2 quick outs. Jason Galichin takes ball. 2 balls and a strike. There's a strike, 2-2. So Brown is 1 pitch away from having a 1-2-3 inning.
Well, I guess they're going to argue that the ball hit the plate maybe, but
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Brown, the 2-2.
Kind of wondered when that was going to start happening.
You let me know when you're ready. 3-2. Yes, sir.
Into deep left center field. That one's gone. That'll be the 10th and final home run for Canada. It is a solo home run. So next time the ball leaves the yard off the bat of a Canadian hitter, it's an out.
It's an out.
It hit the dirt between the backs of the plate. It actually landed dirt. Trust me, I'm on it. Please, 2.
Well, we got a little lull right here. I know all the folks up in Canada have taken a break from one of their big super series. They're watching us on TV, and wanted to shout out to one of the best players to ever come out of Canada who played in the States, Jacques Millier. That played with Steels and Riches, 2 of the best teams that we had here in the States. And I know he's going through some health issues right now. But for somebody who played against him and for all of us that are here at this game, I know his teammates and guys on both sides want to wish him the very best.
Team USA down 26-20. Top of the 5th inning. 2 outs. Jeff Zanoli, his second plate appearance, and he takes a called strike. 1 and 2, and these Canadian hitters not happy at all.
Coach, we're not going to talk balls and strikes. That's right through the zone. It doesn't matter where it lands.
How come everyone in the park even?
I don't care what they do. We know where the zone is. Now let's play ball. All right, here we go. All right. I know what you're talking. Here we go. Here we go, sir. Sir, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So a foul ball here, and it's a strikeout. Hard hit ball past the diving Eisenhower. Good bit of hitting there by Zanoli.
Yeah, great hitting right there, especially when you've already got, you know, if you hit a foul ball that you're out, or if you hit a home run, you're out. Really a good at bat. I tell you, for those that don't know a whole lot about Canadian softball, and they maybe watched the game last year or this is your first time, softball is really big. London, Ontario, I guess, is like a hotbed of softball, but they have sports complexes that they built. They have 25 to 30 fields where guys are coming to play ball all the time. These guys love to play the game there.
Yeah, way to go.
Legal pitch. Bolt swings at it anyway, trying to get the force at second. They get it. J.D. Genter got it quickly over to Eisenhower, covering the bag. And that'll do it for the top of the 5th inning. Canada scores just 1 run on a solo home run, and that's the final home run that they're allowed to hit for the rest of the ball game. Genter quickly over to Eisenhower. Top of the 5th over. Bottom of the 5th inning, Canada still on top of Team USA, 26-20, but still plenty of time for the Americans to come back. Let's take a look at the progressive big stick of the game, and it's Rusty Baumgartner. Wow.
I believe you would categorize that as an extra large. You know, I'm not sure I'd want to go up and be greeted by him after the way he smacks guys on the back. He'd like to knock the wind out of me.
Team USA down by 6. They still have 3 home runs that they are allowed to hit. Deep drive to left center field. That's not one that they wanted to have leave the ballpark. A leadoff home run, Jeremy Eisenhower, and that's only a solo home run, which is not what you'd like to do with your homers.
No, this game could get very interesting here with both teams being out of home runs. The U.S. right now needs to try to get some base runners and take advantage of the couple they got left. We know that Canada's out, and it's going to be hard for a lot of these guys that are home run hitters to be hitting the ball on the ground. So it ought to be good here these last couple of innings. Don't go anywhere, folks.
So the numbers right now for home runs and runs scored, you mentioned that you'd like to average about 3 runs per home run, get 30 runs out of your 10 home runs. Didn't happen for Canada. They only scored 17 runs on their 10 homers. Going the other way with authority, this is Scott Brown, the pitcher, and he flies out to Jason Galichin. So 17 runs on 10 home runs for Canada. Team USA, they have scored 16 runs on their 8 home runs.
Well, at least they're averaging 2. That's you'd like to see 3. And that's why when you asked me what the scores were, I said most of the time they're in the 30s. Very seldom do they get to the 40s. And that's what we've seen in all the exhibitions, and it looks like that's what we're right on target for right here.
Now, this is something you never see. Jason Kendrick is hitless. He's been up 3 times. He's actually counted for 4 outs. Hit into a double play his last time up.
We got time, pitch.
Yeah, Jason's taking, either they're pitching him awful tough or he's a little unsure of what pitch to hit. He's taking a first strike.
Oh, that's just misplayed by Ryan Caleb.
Yeah. They weren't going to get him, I don't think, on anyway, because he runs really well.
So first time today that Kendrick is aboard.
Yes.
Jason is almost running out of the box. Ball takes a big hop. Just a little tough.
Let me get it out here, Coach.
But he can run really well. He's coming out of the game now.
All right, Coach.
So we'll have a pinch runner. Ryan Robbins checks in at first base.
All right, number 30. Got it, Coach.
There's Ryan Robbins. Haven't had him swing the bat so far today, but he did something last year just incredible. 2009, he had a hitting streak of 44. I'm not talking 44 consecutive games with hits, 44 consecutive at-bats with hits.
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody that hot before.
Went 25 for 25 over one weekend series and started the next weekend 19 for 19. Just incredible. Jeff McGavin, the shortstop, skies one to deep right field, right in front of the warning track. It's caught by Galichin. Second out here in the 5th inning.
Got a good idea just how strong an arm Galichin's got, too. He threw a seed from almost to the fence into second base. Just a wonderful arm. You see him get under the ball, sets himself, and this is just a BB to second base. Robbins had thoughts about going down to second, and then went, whoops.
Yes, sir.
2 outs. Team USA has only scored 1 time here in this 5th inning. Now here comes the Thunder. Brian Wegman, quite possibly the best player alive today, hasn't been retired. He's played great defense.
Hold up. Play.
Wegman from Hamilton, Ohio. Southern Ohio, close to Cincinnati.
Yep, right outside of Cincinnati area.
Goes the other way. Galichin makes the play. What a play. Galichin records all 3 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He robs Brian Wegman.
Well, we're seeing some great defense out of this Canadian team, especially in the outfield. Left field and right field guys are going after balls that are hooking away from them, sliding, making tremendous catches. That's the key to this Canadian team. That's where their strength is.
If you're going to retire the great Brian Wegman, you've got to make the play of your life to do so. Jason Galichin throwing some leather.
Kirby's come in the game at second base, Eric. And he played some minor league baseball, 6 years with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Scott Brown still pitching for Team USA. There's Scott Kirby. Canada on top by 5. If they hit a ball over the fence, it's just going to be an out. Little flare to right. Is it caught? No, it's not. Jason Kendrick got a good jump on it, and the ball just popped out of his glove. It's going to be a double for Jeff Gare leading things off here in the 6th.
Looks like they put Ryan Robbins out there in right field. He came in to run a few minutes ago and makes an outstanding effort after this ball. See him dive. The ball actually goes in his glove and then flips out as he slides across the ground.
That's going to be ruled a double for Gare. So Gare still has not been retired. He is 5 for 5 with a couple of home runs. He has scored every time on. Here's the pitcher, Brian Higginbotham. And he hits the ball to deep left, and that's just going to be an out. That's just an out. And that's why the 10-run home run, or the 10-home run limit, really becomes a factor. These guys can't keep it in the park.
That's true. I mean, that was such an easy swing. He was trying to hit a line drive, and he hits the ball 350 feet.
Where's my other one? Is they bringing it in? Oh, did they? Okay. We'll play with 2.
So the first out here in the 6th inning. And the catcher, Francois Henry. He is from Montreal, Quebec. He is one of the francophones on this year's Canadian national team. Speaks both French and English. You can call him Frank. You can call him Francois.
I like that.
Play.
Gare on at second. First pitch is hit hard into the gap left center field. This is going to score Gare easily. Going to make it to the wall.
Good piece of hitting that time. We saw Wegman break towards the ball, but the ball was just hitting a perfect position. And here's Cadenhead. He's their best home run hitter, but we'll see what he does now.
A couple of doubles for Cadenhead. He's also lined out to right and walked. Deep right center field. Robbins going back. Is going to have to play it off the wall. This could be our third double of the inning. It is. RBI double for Cadenhead. Scores Henry from second.
Canada finding the gaps.
We had a really unusual fifth inning, Doug. We had a one-run inning for both sides.
That is unusual. Now you wonder how much does pressure play a part in a game like this for guys that have been in front of big audiences, but now they're representing their country. It's not just about their individual team, but they're representing their country, and you wonder if that's got anything to do with a game like tonight.
To the third baseman. Genter has to hurry. Gets his man over at first. Jeff Filardo is retired for the second out. Staying at second is Cadenhead. Now that there are no more home runs possible for the Canadian national team, is there any other way of manufacturing runs? Can you play small ball with hit and run?
Well, you have to.
Try and lay it down and that kind of stuff?
Well, you'll see guys that'll change their swing a little bit. Well, we saw Gare last time. Gare was just trying to take a half swing and hit the ball in the inside part, and got the double out to right field to lead off this inning. Looks like we've got a new player, Sean Wallace, coming in to run.
Wallace going in for 23. All right, so that's 5. All right.
And 34 is hitting for number 8.
For number 8. And the 7 hole.
Yes.
All right, let me go call these up. Hold on, guys.
Home plate umpire Jimmy Garrett's been busy. Both managers, Jeff Long for Canada and Steve Shortland for Team USA, have both made the commitment to make sure that everyone on the roster gets in and gets some playing time and gets an at bat and gets a chance to play defensively. We've already seen the pinch runner at second. That's Sean Wallace. This is now going to be a pinch hitter. Mario Ewart is going to hit.
That's exactly right. 42 years old, also one of the co-captains, and has been in the Canadian Air Force.
Yes, sir.
So this is quite an honor, and he's excited about being here, and they certainly made him one of the co-captains, hoping that would inspire their ball club, which certainly it has done.
Just a little bit, man. Almost caught bad diet. All right, here we go. Yes, sir, you tell me now.
So Ewart steps in. Wallace looks on from second base. Two outs here in the 6th. Deep drive, and that's going to be over the fence and an out. So 2 outs here for Team Canada in the 6th inning, coming up balls that left the yard. That's when the home run limit really becomes a factor. When we come back, Team USA trying to come back from a 7-run deficit. The highlight for a lot of these men coming from all over North America to play in the Lumber Liquidators border battle. It was won last year by Team USA. The Americans down with only 6 more outs to play with. 28-21 is our score.
Last year they got themselves in pretty much the same situation, had a big inning to take the win. We'll see what they're made of. They're right at the part of the order where they want to be. They have Brett Helmer is going to lead off the inning. I think Jeff Zanoli has moved out to play the midfield, so we'll see him behind the pitcher now. Zanoli with some very good hands.
Hold up, pitch. Getting a verbal. Hold on.
It'll be the catcher, Brett Helmer, leading things off. Helmer hits it hard to center field. Coming on and making the sliding catch, Dave Bolt. Defense has really just been sensational for Canada last couple innings.
Especially in the outfield. They have made every play, and then the double play back at Higginbotham, too, has shown that this team is not only a good hitting ball club, but they're an excellent defensive team. They have overall great speed, and they've shown that today.
So 1 out. Ryan Higginbotham working that defense, making sure everyone's just where he wants them to be. Powerful third baseman J.D. Genter will bat. Out of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia.
All right, play.
3 for 4 with a 2-run home run for Genter.
I know.
3 balls and a strike to Genter.
Hold on, pitch. I'll give you verbal. Play.
Caught again.
Holy
with a
mackerel.
great defensive play. It has just been a tremendous defensive performance by Canada. Jeff Gare robs Genter.
Well, it doesn't surprise me a guy like Gare would make that play, but the U.S. has hit the ball right on the nose the last 2 times, and the defense of Canada has just taken over this ball game. You can see he gets a good pitch. It looks like there's no way that Gare's going to get there, but stretches out and makes a wonderful diving catch.
No, we haven't seen a 1-2-3 inning so far today. Got a chance right here. Johnny McCraw is the batter. McCraw hasn't been retired so far today. A couple of home runs his last time's up. He's also tripled and singled. He's scored all 4 times at the plate.
You let me know when, sir. Giving a verbal here. Hold on. Play.
This one will find a hole. 1-out single for McCraw. His perfect day continues.
Time.
Johnny's been a good hitter for a long time, and shows right then how you just get a base hit, take that ball a little inside out, hit it to right field. That's what a couple of the other guys have been trying to do, but they've just been hitting it a little too far. And right now they may turn Rusty loose and say, we need a couple of runs, fellas.
And here comes the strongest man in the universe, at least in my opinion, Rusty Bumgarner. This guy is a beast. Hit a ball over the scoreboard back in the 2nd inning. Goes the other way and just taps it foul.
Yeah, Rusty's very unselfish. Sometimes maybe to a fault, but that time he's just trying to get a base hit and then let the guy behind him hit a home run. With 2 strikes now, I'd say Rusty's just going to try to hit it hard. If he hits it out, he hits it out.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
But he is one of the most humble people that you'll ever meet for a guy that's playing at this level of softball.
Into the gap in right center field. That's going to bounce off the wall. Chugging around third. Here comes McCraw. They're going to send him. There's not going to be a throw. RBI double for Bumgarner.
That's just what we talked about. One of the best home run hitters in the country, but also shows you that he can hit a base hit too. And that's what he did that time. Basically was giving himself up. So the U.S. cuts into the lead a little bit closer. Pretty slide at home from McCraw. Get that good uniform all dirty.
Rick Baker hit into an unusual double play his last time up. Hit a ball right back to the pitcher Higginbotham, who was able to make the catch and throw to first to double up Bumgarner. We have seen 2 double plays turned in this game.
Yep.
To deep left center field, going back. Bolt has to play this one off the wall. Back-to-back doubles that have bounced off outfield walls for Team USA.
And if you're Team USA, that ball looked like it had a chance to get out of the ballpark, so you're thankful that it didn't and it was just a double.
Team USA does have some home runs to play with. Remember, you have a limit of 10 home runs. After 10, they're nothing but outs. They've hit 8 home runs so far in this ball game. Canada, on the other hand, they have no more home runs to play with, and that was a factor in the beginning part of this inning. They hit 2 balls over the fence for outs.
Scott Kirby will be up for his first at bat today.
I'll give you verbal pitch.
Kirby batting in Jeremy Eisenhower's spot in the lineup.
Ball.
Takes a ball, 2 balls and a strike.
Ball.
3-1. Canada still up by 5. Count's going to go full. The foul ball, and it'll be a strikeout for the 3rd out of the inning. Remember, this is a regulation 7-inning game.
That's right.
So Team USA with only 4 more outs to play with as they trail by 5.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
In right field. Deep, going back, looking up. It's gone. That ball just carried. I don't think that Kirby thought that it was going to leave the ballpark, but it does. It's the 9th home run for Team USA.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd hit it that well, but you don't have to today with the flags blowing out. All you got to do is spin it the proper way and get it up in the air. And now the USA down to their last home run. It's still trailing by 3.
Coach, need a couple. Need a couple.
Nice stop break. So Scott Kirby gets a home run. And the lead is now just 3 for Canada.
Hey, and you think these guys don't want to win this game? I mean, for people that are watching to think this is just an ordinary softball game, no way, buddy.
The pitcher, Scott Brown, gets a base hit.
Time. Need 2 balls, guys.
And I think Brown is going to be pinch run for. Sean DeMars is going to run for Brown and give him a chance to just catch his breath in the dugout for a while. There's Sean DeMars getting loose down that first base line. DeMars is from Elk River, Minnesota.
Sean does some pitching for this ball club. Pitched a game last night. And when you look at the accolades of all, it's just mind-blowing how many All-American teams and All-World. And now we got a little gamesmanship going on. Trying to break the momentum right here. See, softball, you can manage it just like baseball in a lot of instances once you get to a certain point. And that's what they're doing now. You're letting the hitter think about it a little bit. You realize you got a close ball game, so you go out and call timeout, let him think. You see one of the coaches, Pat Del Sanders, coming over and talking to Ryan Robbins right now, having a little talk as they discuss Canada's plan on how to get this U.S. team out.
So the meeting is over and ready to play some softball again. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. Brian Higginbotham trying to protect a 3-run lead for Canada. Sean DeMars on at first. There's Ryan Robbins, came on to run an inning ago.
Almost made a great play out in right field on the ball that he had to come in a long way. Actually had it in his glove, and it bounced out when he hit the ground.
Robbins is the guy we were telling you about who got base hits in 44 consecutive at-bats last season.
That's amazing.
Takes a strike. 2-2. Well, that's how you do it. Line drive to center field. Going over to third base goes DeMars.
Well, you got the tying run coming at the plate, and it looks like it's going to be Big Hank Garris is coming up to hit. Hank set the record for most home runs in the season with 228 a few years ago. Can you imagine that?
It's a lot.
That's a lot of home runs. Was one of the best home run hitters in the world.
Yes, sir.
And has struggled a little bit with some back injuries, but boy, what an opportunity now to give one big swing from the big fella.
All right, we there?
So Steve Shortland has made the move. He wants to bring on Hank Garris. Home run would do 2 things. It would be the 10th and final home run for Team USA. It would also tie the ball game.
And he can hit them. This is a tremendous home run hitter.
High pop-up. Maybe a home run in a phone booth.
Yep.
It's going to be caught by the left fielder, McCraw. And that'll end it. So, side retired. Garris, the big bopper, can't get it out of the ballpark. 3-run game, the 7th and final inning when we return. Welcome back, everyone. Oklahoma City, the capital city of Oklahoma, the capital of the softball world this week. Lumber Liquidators border battle. It's the 7th and final inning. Team USA, a winner a year ago in this contest, but they're down right now by 3 against Canada.
Let me know. Hold on, Pitt.
Canada looking for some insurance. They have hit all of their allotted 10 home runs. If the ball leaves the ballpark, it's an out. Scott Brown back in the game to pitch. Shortstop Ryan Cayley leads things off. Hits it hard through the whole right side. With Doug Flynn, I'm Eric Collins. It's been a well-played game. A lot of hard-hit balls, a lot of great defensive plays.
There have been. And Canada, to this point, has made some wonderful plays in the outfield that have really kept the USA at bay, as well as the double play that they have to the pitcher. But we're going to get an idea right now just what this game is all about. It's not about the home run. It's about the base hit and the defense. And the USA needs to come up with a play if they want to win this ball game.
On the ground, diving to his knees, the shortstop McGavin makes the play at short. They get the lead man.
That's what we were talking about. And, you know, that ball's only a step or so to his right, but that shows you how hard those balls are being hit. These are not slow fielders out there. This ball's hit hard, and he's got a lot of overspin, and he makes a great job of diving for the ball, catching it, getting up, taking his time, and a good throw to Wegman.
Right fielder Jason Galichin will now bat. Galichin has made a name for himself in the right field with a glove in his hands. He has just been sensational. And oh yeah, he's got a couple of home runs.
2 balls,
2 balls and 2 strikes, a foul ball, and it's a strikeout of Galichin. On the ground, Wegman from his backside can't make the play.
Wow. That is a great play still, but the ball was hit so hard and his momentum just took him right over, and he had no chance to get up and make a good throw. These balls are all hit on the nose, and it's a fast infield. He not only got over there and caught the ball, he had to avoid Kirby. Goes over top of him. That's probably what tripped him, or he might have been able to make the play.
One out, runners on at first and at second. Jeff Zanoli will bat. Zanoli didn't begin the game, but he came on in the middle innings, replacing Kevin Bergen as the middle infielder. Called strike. 1-2.
I watched him play the other night. He made some great plays up the middle. And talking to some of their coaches, they went over and said, hey, a Gold Glover thought you had some pretty good hands. His name was Doug Flynn. He went, who?
That was an illegal pitch, but Zanoli swings at it, and he's going to get himself an RBI. Another run scores for Canada. The lead is now 4. Runners on at the corners. So he's not up to speed on his 1980s Gold Glove winners.
Well, he's a youngster. He's a very young kid. But, you know, that pitch was illegal, and you have the option to swing at it. If you do, then the ball's in play. But guys that got a baseball background, they like seeing the pitch that's a little flatter than the one that comes in a little bit higher.
Top of the lineup, Dave Bolt. Bolt from St. Thomas, Ontario. Had a big day, made some good plays defensively. Hits it, could be 2. To second for 1, on to first. Throw is wide. Baumgartner has it flip out of the mitt, and another run scores. That should have been turned.
It should have been a double play, and unusual to see a bad throw from Wegman. But if the game stays as it is and we look back, then I think there are some plays that may have been made by the U.S. that were not made that have given Canada several extra runs.
So another run scores. It's now 30-25. Still not insurmountable for Team USA when they get their last at bats in the home half of the seventh.
No, it's very doable, but you look at the runs that they've given that have been unearned in this game.
Backhanded beautifully. Kirby over to second side, retired. Scott Kirby coming on for defensive purposes makes a beautiful play. And that'll do it for the Canadians in the seventh inning. So it's come down to this, the home half of the seventh. When we come back, the Americans looking to ride that momentum that Scott Kirby has possibly given them with the defense. They're down by 5. Bottom of the seventh inning. 3 more outs remaining for Team USA to try and overcome a 5-run deficit here in the Lumber Liquidators border battle. Team USA won last year's border battle. But right now, up against it, they're going to need to kick up that offense. They only have 1 home run they're allowed to hit before reaching the maximum of 10. Every time the ball leaves the yard after that, it's nothing but an out. That's going to be a factor.
And Eric, if you're the United States, exactly where you want to be. You're at the top of the order. You got your best hitters up here. 5 runs is not a big deficit. Under these circumstances, it's a little tougher than normal.
Brian Wegman takes the first 2 pitches for balls. It's 3-1. Wegman, Helmer, and Genter, the top 3 in the lineup against Brian Higginbotham. There's a strike, 3-2.
Hold on, pitch. Hold up, pitch.
Here's the payoff. Into center field. Dave Bolt goes back. It's over his head, off the wall. Extra bases for Wegman. Wegman's only been retired once today, and it took probably the play of his life made by Jason Galichin in right field to retire him.
That's true. He's a wonderful player. That time gets the USA off to a good start. You have one of the best hitters in the country coming up now, Brett Helmer.
Sir.
It's kind of interesting. Brian Higginbotham, the pitcher, we went back and second base was talking to Wegman. Line drive to center field. Ball can't make the play. Everyone's going to be safe. Helmer on his way to second. He's going to dig for third. Wegman scores easily. And there's a runner on at third, and it's just a 4-run lead for Canada.
And that's kind of unusual. That is a tremendous ball player in center field. That shows how hard that Helmer hits the ball. And he's hit several balls out of the ballpark and then line drives. And that time it looked like Bolt might have just taken his eyes off of it a little bit. But, man, that ball gets there in a hurry.
To show you how hard that ball was hit, the official scorer has mercifully called it a triple. A line drive to the center fielder that he can't make because it's too hard to handle, and it's not even considered to be an error. It's a triple.
So that tells you how fast the ball's coming to the guys that are on the infield.
J.D. Genter will bat. Last 2 times up, he's either flied to right or lined out to the second baseman. Goes the other way. Galichin has to play it on a hop. Another run will score. So the first 3 men reach for Team USA here in the 7th.
Want to keep getting some base hits, keep the momentum going, keep the guys on the bases. Craw's had an unbelievable day, has not been retired the whole day.
Yes, sir. You let me know
5 for 5 with a couple of home runs.
Hold up on verbal.
You know, good hitters are just good hitters. And there's some guys in this game that have been good hitters their whole career.
McCraw goes the opposite way. That one's got a chance. It's gone. Home run for McCraw. It's a 2-run shot. It's going to make it a 1-run game. But that's the 10th and final home run for Team USA.
Hey, no outs. You got to get one run. 2. Let's go.
I told you this game means something. You can hear these guys yelling and screaming. And you got Big Rusty up here now, who you'd like to have hit a home run. And you can see McCraw was just trying to hit the ball to right field. He was not trying to hit it out of the ballpark.
Go. 2 balls. 2 balls. Take something away from somebody. Let's go. Hold on. Come on, Russ. All right.
Well, if you're a softball fan, you got to be loving this. And I am, by the way. I am. I feel so honored to be here. I'm having a blast watching this.
Rusty Baumgartner hit a ball over the left center field scoreboard back in the 2nd inning.
Illegal.
That's an illegal pitch. It's a ball, 2-1. Didn't make it 6 feet high in the air. Going the other way. Base hit for Baumgartner. Thought about going to second. Instead, a hold of the single.
Baker coming up now. There's a big gap in left center. That's where he likes to hit the ball some, and he's got really good speed. Now you'd really like to have that home run left, but that's why it's so important to try to get as many runs as you can. The USA, with their 10 home runs, they got 20 runs. Canada got 17 off of them. Ideally, you'd like to get somewhere between 25 and 30 if possible.
Baker hits that gap in right center. Baumgartner's going to go to third. There's not going to be a throw.
That's why I think the game now is so good, because you got these big guys that are running the bases, sliding into the bags. Folks, they're 6'6", 275 pounds. Is hustling around, and watch him. Big Russ doesn't have to take too many strides. Slide in there. Yeah, watch that bench getting excited.
So there's going to be another meeting in the middle of the diamond right now. Everyone's going to be involved. Still nobody out here in the home half of the 7th inning. Already 4 runs have scored against Brian Higginbotham.
See, this is exciting. Aren't you excited? I mean, you got to be more excited about this than a Dodger game, don't you?
Runners on at the corners. What are some options right there they're talking about?
They're out at the mound. There's not a whole lot you can do. You're just hoping that the USA starts hitting some fly balls out of the ballpark. There's really no way you can defense it, make the play. And the only mistake, really big mistake, that Canada has made was the ball hit the center field. Other than that, they played almost flawless. You see a couple of errors on the board, but they played really well. Now you got the crowd into the ball game. They're talking about maybe if they want to put a runner on. I don't know if it'd be Kirby, but you're looking to get a force out. There's no outs right now, so you have a couple options. You can either walk him and then try to play for the play at the plate, but if you bring your infield in, which they may do, and that might be the only option they have right now. We'll see how the infield does. They're all in the dirt right now, and that might be what they're doing. They're going to try to choke off that run at home. Middle fielder is no longer playing out in the grass, and so they're going to try to keep this run from scoring to tie the ball game.
Scott Kirby bats for just the 2nd time. Down the right field line, foul. 1-2. In this game, with 2 strikes, another foul ball equals a strikeout.
Kirby's job right now is to get 1 run in, just to get this game tied.
One ball, 2 strikes.
If you're the hitter, too, you're going to try to stay out of the double play. So he will probably try to stay out of the middle. You see the middle fielders coming in there pretty good right now, where they're going to try to cut off this run at the plate. They know Rusty's not the fastest in the world.
Deep drive to right. It's gone. It's an out. You're down by a run, 2 runners on. You hit a home run, you think you've just won the game.
That's right.
But not here. It's nothing but an out. And now a double play ends it.
That's exactly right. That is a big out. He had the pitch he wanted on the first one to hit down the right field line, but just pushed it a little bit too far. Now you got Scotty Brown, who's pitched and done a wonderful job up the middle all day with a chance to tie this ball game. What would Joe Torre do right now, Eric?
First pitch to Brown. Into center field. Bolt going back. It's over his head. That's an out.
And you could tell he was just trying to poke the ball at the middle.
Now Team USA down to their last out.
Hey, Coach.
Brian Robbins coming up, who had that long hitting streak.
Coach, have me one ready. Have me one ready. Come on, Ron.
Ryan Robbins, the last hope for Team USA. Rusty Baumgartner, chance to tie the game. He's on at third. On at first is Rick Baker, all kinds of speed. But Brian Higginbotham, the pitcher for Canada, only needs one more out to end this game.
I'll give you a bubble, Pitt. Hold up, I'll give you a bubble.
Good look at Johnny McCraw sitting there biting on the towel.
Play.
Begins him with a ball.
That's it.
This could do it. Higginbotham wins the race to the bag, and Canada wins.
Unbelievable.
The underdogs from Canada, losers a year ago. Here in the border battle, they pick themselves up and they win in stunning fashion here in 2010.
Well, tip of your hat to this Canadian team. They came in here, they got off to a big start. They had 2 huge innings and put the U.S. in a hole from the very beginning, and they just couldn't quite catch up.
Canada up by 5 coming into the bottom of the 7th inning. They allow 4 runs without recording an out, and then a couple of home runs that weren't just called outs, and then a 1 unassisted. The pitcher Brian Higginbotham finishes it off. Congratulations.